America is entering a low-intensity civil war. We're entering a civil war. Who are the two sides in the civil war? Why are we being pitted against each other? How are we going to fight the civil war? And at the end, once the smoke clears, who will be the surface winner and who will be the real winner beneath the surface? You'll notice that Trump is now the president, but the ex-president Obama is sticking around, going after Trump tooth and nail, and a war of finger-pointing, accusations, wiretapping, spying, and leaks, and attempts to impeach. This has broken out already. It's only 2 months into it. Now, how is this going to play out? Well, both sides know that the American people have had it. We're overtaxed. Our currency has been debased. There's no jobs. All right, we got 96 million people out of work. The system is in the garbage can. So what do we need? We need some kind of a reset. So this civil war is going to be fought to determine who controls the new system. Now, on the left, who is our team? It's Team Obama. All right, we have the street thugs, the radicals, the Saul Alinsky community organized, the Black Panthers, the Black Lives Matter, the malcontents, the brick throwers, the window breakers, the George Soros paid front groups. That's one. Let's call that the left. All right. On the other side, on the right, we have the traditional Americans, which are just like, hey, leave us alone. Leave us alone. Let's stay out of our lives. We want less government. Why can't we just go back to the way things were 50 years ago? All right? And they are focused on Trump as their champion in many cases. Not always, but in many cases. So, these are the two sides. Now, in any conflict, in any civil war, it can't really be a hot civil war unless you have two opposing sides of somewhat comparable military strength. So, for instance, in the real, the original American Civil War, what did we have? Well, we had the North and the South, and everybody had guns, all right? And they kept killing each other for a while until winter was obvious. We're not going to have that here. Why? Because the left, number one, the left's force, paramilitary force, whatever you want to call them, street thugs, they're gangs that are looting and going to be rioting more and more. They are, in most cases, not professional mercenaries. They're not very well armed, but most importantly, they are paid to show up. And like anything else, when you pit somebody that's getting, $20 an hour versus a true believer in a fight to the death, the true believer is going to win. The guy that's getting paid $20 an hour, at some point, he's going to watch a few of his buddies get whacked, and he's going to say, you know what? I think I have the sniffles today. I'm not going into work to the Soros front group because they're going to put me on the street, and I'm going to get my head bashed in, and that's not worth $20. $20 an hour is just not worth it. It's just not worth getting my head bashed in. So they're going to eventually give up. Now, what's the other side? The other side is, let's say, 100 million Americans who are fed up the way things have been going. They're sick of getting robbed. They're sick of getting lied to by the media. All right, they're sick of getting lied to by these crooked, sex-blackmailed politicians. What do those 100 million Americans have? Well, they are armed to the teeth. They've got AR-15s. They've got machetes. They've got semi-automatic pistols. They've got revolvers. They've got you name it. They've got homemade guns. They've got you name it. They've got it. So we're not really looking at two military forces against each other with full auto weapons. We're looking at mostly civilians with semi-auto on the right, and on the left a bunch of thugs. Maybe they'll have some ammunition, some guns among them, whatever Soros supplies them with. All right, those are the two sides. The traditional Americans, the right, that Team Trump, if you will, is going to win such a battle, because not only would they win anyway, as I just described, but they're also going to have the majority of the military, ex-military, retired military on the side of the traditionalists, on the side of the Trump team. Why do we see the Soros paid groups, and why do we see Obama sticking around in D.C., and why did Valerie Jarrett just move into Obama's mansion to help orchestrate this so-called color revolution like George Soros has pulled off in other countries? Why are they still trying it if they know they can't win? Well, there's a couple reasons. First of all, there is a small possibility they could sway the hearts and minds of enough millions of Americans to actually take over the reins of government at the end of this civil war. Why do I say that? Well, right now, most of Team Trump knows the media is a pack of liars, the media is dishonest. But that's nothing compared to the revelations that are going to come out about all the perverts, the blackmailed perverts in Congress, the blackmailed perverts at CNN, Fox, you name your favorite fake stream media channel. When folks get a look, get a glimpse, get a whiff of the rotten underbelly of all these sex blackmailed traitors, criminals, kleptocrats that are being used as puppets by the oligarchs, by the kleptocrats at the top, to loot your family, to deceive you, to terrorize the American people with fake mass shootings of the week, fake terror attack of the week. When folks get a glimpse of that, the disillusionment against the traditional American system, all the lies that we've been told over the years, all the big events that have been fake or based on false pretenses, our disillusionment across the country is going to be historic. So when that happens, who knows which way folks are going to go? We might not see a right stampede or a left stampede. We might see a synthesis of some kind, a third way, if you will. So what do we see? Well, why do we have two teams if we might wind up with a third way? Well, because CIA doesn't know which way this civil war is going to go, because of what I just said. The oligarchs, the central bankers, they don't know what this country is going to look like once the rubble is shoveled away, the dust settles, they shovel away the rubble. What is this place going to look like? Because this country, the American system, is going to be ideologically reduced to rubble or sawdust. It's going to be leveled as soon as folks realize all the lies. And I'm not necessarily talking physically. I'm talking about, folks, your belief in the American dollar, your belief in the American school system, your belief in getting married and having kids in America versus anywhere else, all right? Your belief in trusting your neighbors, trusting the government, which most of us don't. Trusting the fake stream media. How can you turn on a TV after you realize this, that, and the other mass shooting were fake and they've been lying to you for years? So there's going to be a clearing of the tables in so many ways that nobody knows what the end game is going to look like. So what do the oligarchs, what do the owners of this country, what do these central bankers do? They call up CIA and they say, listen, we need two teams. We don't need one president that's popular one day, unpopular the next day. We need two full-on teams on the playing field. And that's why, because whichever one wins or appears to win, that's the one we're going to work our controls through. We're going to control the people through that mechanism, through that middleman. So if Team Obama and the left win, the deep state will say, okay, oligarchs, okay, money men, we're going to control everything through Obama, Valerie Jarrett, Rahm, the Black Panthers, Black Lives Matter, the LGBTs, all of the rioting, brick-throwing malcontents. All right, from the angry housewives on down to the brick-throwing, baseball bat-wielding thugs. They will use them. Okay, it's a traditional Marxist, communist, quote-unquote revolution. It's a Marxist communist takeover, and this country is poised. We are in the destabilization phase. We will be in the crisis phase as soon as a certain percentage of the population wakes up, looks at their alarm clock and says, wait, you mean Sandy Hook was fake? Wait, you mean this was fake? That was fake? CNN's been lying about every major news story for the past 25 years. They're going to flip out. They're going to flip out, completely, and many are going to go ballistic. So there is a chance that the leftists could take over. Now, on the other side, the deep state is not a bunch of idiots. They know that usually when American retired military are involved, as soon as you add strategy to the brick throwing, okay, you tend to beat the brick throwers. All right, so as soon as you add any strategy and tactics into any of this, you tend to overcome a bunch of morons that are bussed in by Soros from wherever, from Guatemala, and given $15 an hour. Okay, they will be defeated. The trick for Soros is to make everybody think. All right, with the street thugs put on a big display. He's going to burn down some buildings. He's going to try to make you think he's winning. The left is winning. All right, but they're not going to. So in reality, unless we just give up. So that's why there's two teams. That's why this civil war will continue for quite a while, because this disillusionment, this awakening process, it does not happen in one weekend. It is an ongoing process, and it will sweep the country, and it will be accompanied by, like it or not, there's going to be an economic collapse accompanying this. They don't even need to orchestrate it at this point, okay? The dollar is so devalued, it's so undermined, it's so hollowed out. As soon as the confidence collapses in the American system, the markets are going to take a hit. People are going to be panicking. They're going to wish they bought gold and silver. Okay, fine. We've all heard that. We've heard that story a million times. It's going to come very true very rapidly, and it's going to stay that way for a long time. All right. So, on the Soros side, the favorite tactic of the Marxist, of the communist, is an Alinsky tactic. It's called "Let's you and him fight." Let's you and him fight. Notice it's not let's you and me fight. The Marxist doesn't want to be in the fight, because when you're in the fight, you're taking a risk that you're going to lose the fight or get your head bashed in. The Marxist doesn't want to take that risk. The Marxist wants to say to the Muslims over there and the gays over there, or the Muslims over there and the feminists over there, hey, let's you two groups fight it out. Let's you two groups duke it out, and we'll sit back and sell tickets to the fight, and whoever wins, we'll partner up with. That way we don't take risk. In this case, Soros and the left are saying, hey, I should say the owners are saying, hey, Soros, we need you to be team left wing, and you're going to fight against team right wing, the Trumpers. All right? And the oligarchs, the bankers, central bankers are going to sit back, and they're going to say, hey, let's you, Soros, and you, Trump, fight. And they're going to see who comes out on top. It's going to take a few years. They're going to see who comes out on top of this civil war. And then that's who the oligarchs are going to partner up with. Whoever, the last man standing, whoever wins. And we will wind up with a system much like we have now, where folks are exploited half their paycheck. You know, you add up all the taxes on your paycheck, your income tax, your property tax, sales tax, add up all these taxes, and you can't even buy a roll of toilet paper. That's if you're lucky enough to have a job. 96 million people are not that lucky right now. So that's where this is headed. The reason it's going to take so long is because Trump could end this civil war before it even begins. Unfortunately, Trump is not going to stop this before it begins, because Trump has a Trump card that he's never going to play, and I'll tell you why. Watch my segment here. Obama wiretaps Trump, but Trump won't nuke Obama. Trump has evidence in his pocket, hard evidence, that could knock Team Obama, Team Soros out of this ballpark before they even show up to fight, but Trump will never do it. And I explain why in this segment. You can catch it at Barry Soetoro channel. Remember to subscribe and check out the links below.